So let's think about any tool. So let's go to, artists. Back in, early BC, right? There was cave paintings. They had to take like mud and clays and they would draw upon these walls, right? Now, the type of depiction that they can draw at that time was limited based on the tools that they were using. But in their mind, the picture of the idea may have been crystal clear.
Yeah, just like we see HD photos.
But they were limited by their tools.
Yeah.
So then we go further up in timeline, and then we start creating, paints based on like flowers and these different dyes. And then you see the ancient Egyptians, how they was able to create art, right? Then we fast forward and you get like the Michelangelos and things of that nature with his tools, and he's able to sketch out his ideas even with way more detail, right? To the point where he start, having like, the anatomy x-rayed into the body. Then you get to even deeper tools, you talking about sculpture tools. All of these are still man taking ideas in his body and utilizing a tool. This tool can be considered a machine.
Yeah, and I want to touch on that.
So then we go to photography, right? Now we got photography where we can literally take pictures of things that we see, and then becoming a photographer becomes a new art medium, but a photographer only uses a machine, right? Then we go to, but everybody utilizes it different. Then we go to video, right? Now we got videography, right? Then we go again, we got graphic design. Graphic design becomes a new medium and a new art, and people become famous off their graphic design. Wars are used based on that. Propaganda is created. Human beings are still taking pictures and ideas in their head, and the development of a skill to bring that idea out is what we consider to be the intelligence or the excellence. But it was the idea in the first place that was the value. The ability to bring it out was the execution, and the tool was what assisted. How many people had ideas, lacked the skill sets, lacked the resources, right? Or the access to bring it out. So it's not that there wasn't more brilliant people. They weren't funded with the machines, or they didn't have the education to teach the skill set or the mentorship. So then we transform into computers, right? Computers allow people, like you said, well, that goes kind of into graphic design. But then we kind of go further into, now we got AI. But you got to go back to graphic design like Photoshop. Photoshop is completely based on a person's ability to learn a particular skill set based on the interface of that software, right? So the whole entire artist purist is based on them learning skill set that has to interface with that, right? So if a person's learning ability cannot cope with that sort of skill mechanism, then they won't be able to learn. Is it not true art? No, because the ideas are still there. So now we have AI, Mid-Journey, prompts. It's still just another machine, another tool. And no matter what machines you give people over throughout time, everybody uses them differently, right? So this is where you get the artists that become renowned, not because of the what, right? But because of the how they use it. That's the creativity. So creative intelligence is the highest order of today, when everybody has equal access to the same tools to take ideas out their head. Now you see the idea economy start to emerge.
Yeah, that's fire.
Woo!
What I like about that too, and this is it's relevant, but a tangent from that point is, as you went through the evolution of technology and how we applied it differently, also our artistic ability evolved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And A.A. Rashid one day, he made a comment about art versus science, and I always say, they evolve together.
Right.
I've never seen an artist not use a technological
It's
tool.
art. You have to know a science to use art, because art is a way of doing things. It's a way of expressing an idea.
Yeah, and then to push science forward, you have to be an artist mentally. Like, think of the Einsteins, the Max Plancks, the people like that who were creative and had to look at something different, Tesla, to apply their mind artistically.
Like, but here's the thing. AI is just another goddamn tool. Like, what? Any tool you don't have a plan for, of course you're going to be mad, because all you're going to think about is everybody else's plans and what they use it for. That's it. Right? It's just a goddamn tool. Y'all give too much power to these things. Otherwise, don't use a computer then.
Right.
Don't use a computer. What the fuck is AI? It's just a goddamn algorithm based on the neocortex and the abilities of human beings, right? Where we don't have to utilize, like,
it's automated statistic algorithms.
You are workforce is somebody else's AI, basically. Yeah. Workforce is somebody's AI. You know what I mean? You are managing the skill sets of others for your idea output. Yeah. That's what AI is. Yeah. You're managing the skill sets of AI for your idea output.
Yeah, anybody who can't optimize AI in their business is missing the real point. And
man, everything come from us, and I ain't your nigga. So let me get you on out of here, man, because you on some sucker shit. I'm gonna get you on out of here. Everything come from us. Everything come from us. See, the problem is, you know, a lot of you all don't have no belief in God, right? So you fear things that man make. Man, God made me. That's the crazy thing. When you ain't got a true belief in God, you fear, right, what man makes. I definitely don't fear machines, right? I got fear for God and what he'd do for me when I go against his will. So as long as I utilize my power to do those things, then we solid. But when we have a society that's disconnected from God, right? They start to fear money. Money is going to corrupt you, is evil. They start to fear machines. Machines going to take over. They start to fear other men. Yeah. All of these different things. You got all of these perfect fears for everything but God. So you don't want to follow God, right? Because you don't fear the repercussions of not following, right? But you fear to all of these other different things in the world. I mean, you got to stop. I just want human beings to stop being afraid of their power. And especially us, because shit, we already, like, what do you got to lose for real? Like, motherfuckers went, like, shit, I want these systems to topple. I don't know about y'all, but I if I'm being in my 100, I want these systems to topple, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the education system, I ain't gonna lie, I want it to topple, but not without replacing it with something completely better. Yeah. Right? Because so many people need basic level thinking. Now, the problem is that this system was created to indoctrinate you to understand, like, it's like giving you the manual OS to how to operate in this world. Yeah, but where we're going as a new earth and a new world, right? You now need a new operating system, how to operate in a new world. And most people don't have the skill sets for that. They have the skill sets. Being smart in school makes you smart in school, not in the world. And this is the thing you really got to understand. Your A's, your 4.0, your cum laude, your dean's list means nothing in real life.
If you didn't learn how to learn, then school failed.
Now, so somebody say people fear AI because they see it all knowing. The idea to start the idea what people fear AI is wrong, regardless of what you put in behind it. Never fear a machine.
How can
it already becomes your God the moment you fear it? Not them, because I'm gonna let you go. But the moment you say you fear AI becomes your God. Because you said people fear AI because it had too much control. It already controls you when you fear it. That's the thing. The moment you fear it, it has control over you. Fear controls, right, you. So you can't say people fear AI because it doesn't matter the why. You already caught up in making it your God. It has become your God without even having the ability to control you, because your fears control you. Whatever you fear becomes your God. So you will relinquish your actions and your will to the subscription of your fear. So therefore, you don't have to deal with the consequences of going against the thing that you fear. Come on, man. Talk to me, man. You know? So and this is what we try to do. I every time I teach something, people never listen.
She said, should people fear God?
Yeah. See, here's the reason why people should fear God, man.
Well, you got something, man.
Because when fearing God keeps you in line with self, because you have to understand that you are God. So when you are the one, when something happens, and in your life, right? And you by yourself, you done did something wrong before. You felt shame, you felt envy, you felt jealousy, you felt a sense of, self-worth depletion. Why? Who made you feel that? This is what I want y'all to understand it. When you go home, you did something wrong, and now you feel shameful. Shameful is when you really don't like yourself, right? And then you feel guilty. Who made you feel that way? That's you, right? So that's the part of yourself you fear because you don't want to bring that about. You want to be living a higher frequency. So you I'm not going to do that. That's going to make me feel bad, right? God, that's the God in you that punishes you instantly, right? That's an interior thing. So you say, no, I'm going to go do the good so that I feel good, so that I do good. That's the God, right? So you fear the God within because you know that consequences come immediately. And this is why so many people are depressed, because they didn't have that fear of God and they weren't doing the thing that would allow them to live at a higher vibration. They didn't speak up for themselves, right? They didn't commit themselves to that thing. They didn't express themselves and live in that particular manner, right? And so that fear of God that you have is the fear of the self-punishing or the self-accusing spirit within. Don't use the internet. Don't use social media. Don't use AI. It's that whole thing. People stop at one thing.
Meditate under a tree.
People get indoctrinated to everything else. They be, well, I'm not doing that though. And every time human beings lie, because every year they end up doing that, right? At first it was TikTok. I ain't getting on no damn TikTok. Now niggas on TikTok. Then it was Instagram. I ain't doing no Instagram. Then it was Facebook. I ain't doing no Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Every time this same thing happens. Every single time. And then you acclimated into it. So I'm not going to act like human beings don't follow a cycle. Right. They do. What I want to do is empower you. Listen, we discover a lot of things when we, become idea-centered and creative. Dynamite was discovered trying to create a remedy for immortality. You know what I'm saying? AI, maybe they tried to create a destructive force. But when you give it and put it into the hands of young gods, we create it with and utilize it as a creative force. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's the power. So I don't want it used by those who I don't respect, because I know that no matter what, when they use tools, they destroy with it. No, I don't want. I got robots in my neighborhood now. You know what I mean? With cameras and surveillance and all of this different stuff. What you are talking about is not the fear of AI. You fear man in the way he utilizes tools. Right? So you don't like the way the white man utilizes tools. You don't like the way the elitists utilize tools. Because when they utilize tools, right, they put profit over people. So this is what you have to identify correctly. You don't fear. I've never heard nobody say, I fear the black man getting AI. I fear the black. Just think about your feeling towards that. You have no fear at all of the black man or woman getting AI. What you fear is the European and the Caucasian getting AI. You fear the elite getting it. But guess what? They already have it. So you telling your peers not to get it doesn't stop your fears. Because those powers that be already have it. They the ones who built it. And so you going around telling your peer group, man, let's stay away from AI. Why? It's not going to keep the people that you actually fear from having it.
Yeah.
They got it. They've been at it for decades.
I literally make it.
Come on, man. I know I ain't gonna lie. I know I've been making too much sense.
So the first speculations on robots or automatons was done in ancient Greece, right? The tale of Hephaestus creating that giant robot to protect Crete. It was a bronze robot, automata. And then again, Al-Jazari does so in a book called Tales of Ingenious Mechanical Devices. He was a Moor, pre-Renaissance era, before we taught them.
Free Palestine.
Yeah,
I know
shout
y'all
out
gonna
to
put that in there.
Palestine.
And also, while we on the topic of Free Palestine, give black people reparations. I need to see that hashtag going around too.
But yeah, he speculates on robots too, robots as well in the 1300s. So it's not like this is something new where they're trying to create or emulate anything. It's when you're in the realm of science, you have a natural inclination to wonder what can be done, what are the implications of understanding a certain system and how these things
Free the
work.
Congo.
Shout out to the Congo,
Free Somalia.
Somalia.
Free Africa, because they all fucked up over there. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, another mosquito got me.
Free Chicago. I'm just saying, like, we gonna do this all day, like.
Czech Republic, what happened over there?
The Czech
She said
Republic.
from Czech.
Oh, I'm about to say, free the Czech Republic. I feel like I don't know about that. I think you tried. I was about to say you tried to get me with that one. I was about free God. free black Americans, man. Free the Native Americans, man. I ain't gonna lie, this Palestine sister got in my DMs tripping yesterday. Talking about some, why you ain't talking about Palestine? You a sellout. How am I a sellout? I was never sold into Palestine.
Yeah, she was making sure.
I can only be a sellout if I work for my people, first of all. Anything else is extracurriculum, first of all. You know what I'm saying? When I work for the world, that's extracurricular, that's bonus. God giving me bonus coins. But you can't use something, you can't use the sellout term. You can't use the sellout term when I'm not working for your people, even though I already speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be trying to do that. Relax. You know what I mean? Because as we say free Palestine because of the innocence and the children that's dying over there, and you know, I can relate to people that go through, you know, oppression by, you know, a terrible government regime, right? But Palestinians need to clear up their racism as well. You know what I mean? Just like the Israelis need to clear up their racism, because black people are always, why are we always hated by everybody in the world?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Told you, man.
You got the Afro-Palestinians. You got the dark melanated, you know, Jewish people of the world. None of them are ever shown.
Palestinian man attacked me on camera for no reason.
Yeah, so it's like, first of all, while we clearing up everything, we need to listen. I'm dead ass serious. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I help and I throw in chips for anybody that really need it. You feel me? But y'all listen, no more racism. Y'all got to stop hating black people.
Said, why should we care when they dislike us? And it's because
if there's a family,
God,
listen, no, go ahead.
You should extend that natural morality. It's not about how they may grieve, or you don't have to.
God is a merciful God.
Them or do business with them or anything, but to extend compassion for innocent people being killed.
Right. If I got some white racist neighbors next door, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, some people may disagree with me, and they house is burning down, and they leave, and they got their children inside. You think I'm not gonna save those children?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you think I'm not gonna go in there and save them children? You know, I will not go live with myself and have that on my consciousness. You feel me? Now, I'm not trying to go Captain Save a bunch of white kids around the world. That's not my goal. But as a man of moral integrity, you know what I mean? I'm not going to die doing it in the process. But I'm saying, if I see the smoke over there, hell yeah, I'll go save them damn children. Why? Because of what my moral quality is. And when we look at the attributes of God, they say God is a merciful God. Right? Now, if we are at direct war, that's different. If we had like a physical war, right, then I might not have no mercy on my enemies. I ain't at war with Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So at the end of the day, yeah, when I see whether it's the same thing with the brothers in Congo, right? Like, if I'm being equal, like, as much as, like, I don't have any people from the Congo that, you know, contribute to my existence. I don't have people from Palestine that contribute to my existence. Like, if I'm being 100%. No Congolese people came, and Ugandan people came, and Rwandan people came to help black people in America. So when we help from this place of real selflessness. that no matter who didn't help us, we have such a big heart that we merciful gods. That we still will assist, not because of you, but because of our nature. That's how we are. Because we want to always have freedom, justice, and equality when we're connected to our better nature as human beings on this planet Earth. So what you may be thinking it has something to do with you, nah. It has everything to do with me. I can't, in good consciousness, ignore evil if I'm good.